so annoying. I hate this podcast so much.
Are we done yet?
Hello and good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, and we have
Hello.
Nazri and Izzy here with us. So tonight, welcome to our very special Mother's Day episode. My name is Hui Ting and I am your host this evening. And today I have Nazri and Izzy with us as well. So for everyone, I think we've always heard this term, home is where the heart is. Not trying to promote it on Nazri's shirt, but I think he can relate with it very well.
Collaboration with Home with Home Fitness.
Yes.
Same reaction.
But yes, home is where the heart is. And I think that is a phrase that a lot of us resonate so much with. I think mostly because home is not just a space that we live in, but it's really centered around the people who make us feel whole. And I think that's something that we in CUCKOO deeply connect with as well, because for CUCKOO, healthy home isn't just the product, but it is, a healthy home is all about the memories, the shared experience, and the connection that we built upon. And it's often centered around women who holds it all together. And these women particularly are our mothers. So tonight's theme, Home Starts With Her, celebrates the women who shaped us and created the foundation we call home. And joining me for this special conversation, we have Nazri and Izzy, who will be sharing their heartfelt conversations and, of course, what it's like growing up with their mothers. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please give us a very warm welcome to Nazri and Izzy.
Hey,
Hello.
guys.
Hi.
Oh,
That
man,
was
yeah.
a really incredible introduction. Thank you
I feel
so
like
much.
you and me are out of the business now.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much, Hui Ting. It was
Yes,
really fun.
yes.
Yeah,
And,
no pressure. I was a bit, I was feeling a bit nervous knowing that Nazri and Izzy is, I'm going to be interviewing you both. But we'd really like to hear a little bit more about you guys, especially with your moms. And I think with tonight's theme, I really love the theme that was shared by the team, Home Starts With Her. And I want to ask you guys a little bit more about this. When you think of Home Starts With Her, maybe we'll start with either one of you. What actually comes to your mind?
Yeah, orang tua dulu lah.
It hurts so bad. I think that those two phrases like really resonate with me. I think home is where the heart is. Home starts with her. I mean, I feel like my mom's been my mom, my best friend, my partner in crime for so long, and I really feel she really made it a safe space for me to really be who I wanted to be, to really explore, things that I thought I wanted or things that I really wanted, think that I wanted to become, and really gave me space to really try to find myself. And I think when I think of home, I think of a safe space where anyone can be comfortable enough being, themselves, and really a space for anyone to explore who they want to be.
Well, I really like that, yeah. Having a safe space that you can really call home. I like that. Thank you, Nazri. What about yourself, Izzy?
I mean, I agree with what Nazri said as well. Like having that safe space, especially like growing up with a single mother. I wouldn't say like she was supportive of the life choices that I made, but at the end of the day, like she would always like, again, welcome me home, providing that safe space, even though I, made so much mistakes in the past, but she's never one to like, okay, go away. You're not welcome in this home anymore.
I get it.
You caused me so much headache.
Fam,
Right?
I think I can relate.
Right? But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, whatever it is that you've made, yes, I'm not happy with you, but you're still my son, and
Yeah. I think as soon as you said that like piece, I'm immediately thought about like, I remember my mom came with me to get my first piercing, which is probably not very normal.
Yeah.
But I think my mom was always the type that if you're to do something like silly, I think I'd want to be the one, like I want to hear it from you and rather not hear it from anyone else.
That's true.
And I remember years and years after that, because I was covered with piercings at one point. I was covered. And at one point, it all just disappeared. And then I remember asking her, like, why did you, as I got older, like, why did you let me do all of that? And she was like, because I knew eventually you'd get bored out of it.
Yeah.
And if I was to say no, I think you'd want to do it even more.
That is true. Wow, that is so mature.
She had so much patience to wait
Exactly.
for the day that
exactly.
like, you know, she
Fam,
was right.
the stories I could tell you about Haja Suraya. That is my mom. Oh, fam. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, now that you've mentioned a little bit about your mom and you know how she used a different type of parenting style, I think that's something out of the norm for all of us, but I think it works so well for you. And I want to take us a little bit back down memory lane and let's talk a little bit more about your childhood as well, growing up with your mom. How's it like? You know, how is mom? How is mom to you? Was she the cool mom or was she the strict mom? You know, maybe we'll start with Izzy. We'll start with Izzy first.
My mom is, yeah, she was definitely, I think she still is, but she loosened up like throughout the years because she has like my niece and nephews to focus on. But back then she was, I would say, I think she was definitely a very overbearing, overprotective, but loving mom, you know. And growing up with her, it was definitely tough because she had like two failed marriages. And then at that time, obviously, I didn't understand what she was going through. So I was always that like the wild, rebellious kid who just wanted a taste of the world. And I was also never interested in studying. Like, I'm pretty sure like all moms have like their children's life mapped out. And I went on my side quests and never fully gotten back on the map.
Yeah.
I went to Mars.
Yeah.
You stayed there for your
When
side
I went to
mission.
Jupiter, and then I decided Saturn looked pretty cool.
Wait, oh, Earth? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I think looking back at my mom, I think, you know, she was always my best friend. I think growing up, she was always there. You know, and I think when the divorce happened, I think I was maybe like 12 or 13. I was in Form 3. I remember this day. I got brought out to the balcony to be told about what was going down. I remember everything about it.
Oh my God.
And I remember going into my room just trying to either like zone out or like try to digest. I remember Inspector Gadget was on my tiny TV in my bedroom.
The live action or the animation?
The live action, yeah. And that was the time it came out, I think. And I just remember like then, you know, a different side of my mom. Like I think I saw the mom who was like scraping bottom of the barrel, but putting on that straight face to just, you know, let us, me and my sister, know that, hey, you know what, everything's fine. But I think looking back, I think I sort of understand like what she had to sort of go through and what she did to sort of give us the feeling that everything was still okay. So yeah.
Wow. I think, you know, especially now being a mom myself, it really isn't easy to, you know, try to keep it all together. And, you know, when do you actually have time to let go?
For sure.
Yeah, and I think you know, for especially for you both, having to see a lot of sides of your mom during this transition as well, and especially after, you know, them having to be your primary caretaker, you know, to take care of you. Do you feel like there were certain parts in your life that you had to grow up a lot faster compared to your peers because, you know,
Yeah.
there's a lot more for your mom to bear?
Yeah. Do you mind if I jump in on this first? Yeah. I think for me, it was, I think I had no choice but to grow up. And then it also, you hear from when something like this happens, you hear from other people like, hey, you need to step up. Hey, you're the head of the table now. Hey, you have to look after the family now. So I think at the age of 13, I was already sort of hearing that. And I think it forced me to sort of like really grow up and step up. And looking back, that's a lot of responsibility that I think anyone at that age should or could be. I think at the time, I think I was just lucky that I didn't realize the magnitude of the situation. And honestly, it's been a really long and tough journey, not only, you know, trying to be a son, but trying to be a person as well. And I think, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I think I was a very spoiled kid growing up. I was super spoiled. And when the divorce happened, I think we really had to make some big lifestyle changes. And my mom really tried, you know, really made things work for us. And I was the rebellious kid, like, I don't want to move there. My friends are here, like, you know, and all. I was definitely at that angsty teenager age. But I think ultimately, you know, you learn responsibility. You learn the value of a dollar. I was working at a bank already right after like college, and just to sort of help put food on the table and to help my mom out as well. And yeah, I think that was like a very trying, but I think also a very important part of my life that I wouldn't have any other way.
And I think somehow it's sort of a bit of a beauty in disguise because it somehow molds you into,
Who you are today.
Yeah, to
For
become
sure.
who you are today. Wow. How about yourself, Izzy?
I think for me, my mom was like, she really took care of me and my siblings to the point where, like, I didn't realize how bad it was when I was younger.
They're so good at that, right?
Yeah, they're so good. So as we grow older, I remember like whenever we would reminisce, like me, my mom, and my sisters, like I was like, I don't remember understanding that was like the hard life that we were living. Like she made sure like we didn't feel or experience that it was like actually really tough back then, especially when she had to play the role of both mother and father. And I was just so distracted with like trying to make myself feel better so that, yeah, but that caused like a huge like headache for her. Now like looking back lah, but again, like she did such a good job of shielding us from knowing what was happening. I mean, good and bad things came out of that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do feel like emotionally I had to grow up faster, which in turn developed like my empathy, I feel like. Because like my mom, she had to put up barriers. Like not only did she, experience like being abandoned by her husband, her first marriage, and then second one also was like a tumultuous marriage. So then naturally, like she had this barrier on where like even me and my sisters couldn't like get through. So I had to like then learn like, okay, subconsciously lah, like I had to be understanding. Like I had to be able to read the room. I was very sensitive to certain things that people would normally not be sensitive about. It's like so weird now looking back.
I think like for me it was more about like I think roles, right? I think when that happened for me, immediately I'm thinking I gotta be protector and provider for my mom, and I've got to be father for my sister, my little sister, right? So I think as I got older, and I really feel I think that's when I started to have some inner conflict or inner, I think just like some friction, only because I think, some things might have aligned or not aligned. And I think ideally, when I did some soul searching some years and years ago, I think when I realized, and I know this sounds simple, in its conversation, but I think for me to finally know that my role is actually son to my mother and brother to my sister. And I think then and only then, I think things started lining up for me. What should I be saying yes to? What should I be sort of like saying is not within my skill set or my values or my, who I am as a person and who I want to be as a person. So yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's very interesting. Now that you talked about values, right? I just want to know a little bit more. Was there any particular values that your mom had that you probably disagreed with? But now looking back at it, is it something that you still resonate with or do you still disagree with?
Yala, I just don't like kena marahi all the time.
Yeah, same.
And then do homework wrong. And then you always get say, dengar lagu apal. And then this
Yeah,
one not
dah lagu
apal.
apa tapi oh my god. Yeah.
But it's been, the one thing, I mean, on that topic,
Yeah.
is my mom was, like I said, like I think as much of a cool mom as she was also very strict because I think as parents, they just want the best for their child.
Yes.
They just want us to turn out the best way possible. That's why they think they have our whole lives planned out for
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
But seeing my mom with my son has been a completely different person.
Oh my gosh, please don't get me started with my parents as well. Like,
Right?
I swear, like, what happened to the rotan? What happened to the
Yes.
belt? Non-existent with my child.
I was at the dinner table with my son, my mom, my sister, and I remember my son was just being silly at the dinner table. I said, Amar, and then my mom was like, don't raise your voice at him.
Oh.
And then me and my sister looked at each other and was like, who is this? And what did she do with our mom?
right.
And I remember reading a quote somewhere, and I think for your mom to be a grandma is their second chance at raising you again.
Oh,
And to
that's
really, so
deep.
I always give my mom a lot of grace when it comes to being a
Yeah.
grandma.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah. Take that, Izzy.
I know, that's crazy. No, I realize now, like, this is so interesting to me.
Is she like that
because,
with your nieces and nephews?
I a little bit. I just realized like we grew up in. Not that I expect that we grew up like the same. And
Almost parallel, I feel.
Yeah, but we have so different. I think also because like my mom is so she has a very strong personality, right? She's like very tough, and so like I think I inherited that version of her. And so like we would always clash all the time. We fight all the time. I raised my voice at her so many times when I was younger. And I almost didn't see her as a mother. I saw her as a friend that I argued with all the time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so much that's why like I've always been like for the longest time I always believed like ako ni anak durhaka.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, it's true, but like,
yeah, but this is my redemption arc.
Yeah.
No, no, no. But yeah, but then again, like my mom is like I see a lot of myself in my mom, which is why like we are
Always
we
headbutting.
headbutting.
headbutting all the time.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
All the time.
you guys are such big personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But at the same time, what makes me strong is also because of what she inherited me with, like that side of her, that resilience, because she went through such hardship in terms of like relationships, which then I'm like, okay, I'm more resilient in like other things lah. So it's crazy. And like I'm spoiled too. And my mom is also kind of like spoiled in her upbringing. So it's like,
It's so similar.
yeah, so it's very similar. And she's like, she wants me to like, there's an expectation for her to like, for me to like work hard. But like, I'm like, well,
yeah.
it's like,
I
yeah.
know,
So it's
yeah.
like, it's a very, honestly, I would say like, if me and her were to be in a show, honestly, like, it'd be
Havoc.
so would wreak havoc. Like it's a crazy relationship that me and my mom have, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
that's what the follow-up episode is. Home is where the havoc is.
always when I have
Yeah.
a havoc festival.
Hey.
Oh, not that we said that, but
We'll be back right after these messages.
but no, I can really relate, and I think that's what make your relationship with your mother so close, because it feels like when you argue so much, like you're just so close to her that you're willing to show this side of you, and she's willing to show that side of her, because that's how home is. Like for me and my mom, I don't know about for you, but my mom always has this saying. Sometimes she scold me or she nag me like I am her daughter. My mom says that. And she will
about
say
you.
it to
About you.
everyone. She broadcasts it. She makes
Oh
sure
my
others listen.
God.
So, yeah, Mom, if you're watching this,
I don't want to be anak derhaka.
but yeah, I think to some extent, I think, it really brings your relationship closer as well to one another.
I think so. And I think honestly, we're humans, right? We just we want to bond. We want to belong. We want to have relationships. We want to be in safe spaces. And yeah, that's just it. And of course, we want to be close with our family.
Right. And now that you're talking about the bond and relationship that you have with your mom, because it's so unique, it's so close. And I think it's something that is so special. Seeing it from a mother's perspective as well. I hope one day my son will be able to, because currently he's not even 2 and we're already headbutting.
Oh.
And he's at the point where he's giving me a bit of a hard time. I don't know why, but it's always to me or our nanny. But when father comes in, diam tak. Quiet,
Scared
listens.
or because love so much?
I think scared.
Okay, faham.
Yeah.
Maybe lah. I'm not
Okay.
too sure. But now when I hear a lot of your stories, it just feels like, wow, I hope one day my son can be just as mature, or
Trust
it
me,
really
he
builds.
will.
Yeah.
In every like situation, even with my friends' kids, they would always run to their mothers, not their fathers.
And honestly, I think it's different lessons, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, I think there are different lessons in different circumstances where wow, all of a sudden dad mode.
Okay, daddy.
There are certain lessons and certain, like, I think things that they will run to a mom for and then for a dad for
Yeah,
as well.
that's
And I
true.
think there's different lessons to be learned from both sides,
Yeah,
which
and I
I think
think
is
that's interesting.
And that's just me trying to make myself feel better. You know?
Well, we'll save that for episode 2 next month, yeah?
Amar runs to his mom all the
Right,
time.
yeah.
And I'm like his best friend, will play, will wrestle. But as soon as Tati enters the room, he's like, bye,
Abandons
dad.
you.
Like,
Yeah, I think it's just something to do. I think it's human nature.
Yeah.
Like that maternal, you can't get rid of that maternal instinct. Like a mother is able to provide.
do you know what I think it is?
What?
I think it's that 9 months that
The
baby
bond, they have a head
spends
start.
with mom.
Yeah.
You know, there's already that sort of like bond that I know her longer, and it's just, this is my genuinely
Yeah.
was literally my safe space for 9 months before I came to
Yep.
this world.
That
I
is
think
true.
I think that is it.
That
Yep.
is the bond that is already built, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, now that we're talking about bond and relationship, because it's so unique, does your relationship with your mom and how she instills certain values and relationships of you mold you to create, have your own preferences in relationships, or, to choose who you want to keep close to your life? Like, for example, you grew up with your mom and your sisters. Do you feel like when you grow up, you tend to have more female friends? Or actually, do you want to actually reach out to more guy friends because it's something that you don't really have from home? What kind of relationship did you have growing up with, people outside?
I think my mom was very funny. Like she would always tell me that she and I have very different beliefs when it comes to a lot of things. Again, the headbutting thing. She always reminds me not to trust people, especially friends, not get influenced by friends. And I was like, why is she so like, why does she view friends as like a bad thing? But now I realize maybe she had bad experiences with friendships when she was younger. So she kind of like subconsciously projects it onto me, which I'm so happy to like show her, and she realizes it even now. Like most of the personal growth that I've achieved is because I've got good people around me. And so that's one thing that I've already like, I hope she knows that not everyone is like evil. Yeah, but also maybe she's just using that as like try to remind me like, okay, if they do bad stuff, let's just not. But I don't know, I just feel it's just a different time from when they grew up and versus when we grew
sure.
up, and how they were raised as well. Like I know my grandfather was like super strict, like the stories that I hear about him. But yeah, I think that's what she tries to emulate as well.
I think nowadays, when I'm looking at how my mom handles things, or it just makes me, when it may not align with how I want to do things, but I always give her grace because she is coping with whatever tools she has and whatever experiences she had. So I always try to make sure I give her some grace and always try to understand sort of where that's coming from. But growing up, I was very close with my mom. I think we talk about girls all the time.
I love that.
We talk about all sorts of stuff and I think because of that, I ended up being more comfortable being around like girlfriends. But as I grew older, I started, I think, craving the approval of like male style father figures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like slightly older men who were like
relate
mentors
to
for
that
me, right?
so much. Yes.
Yeah, so I think those are really like, I think where I sort of like, yeah, I think the relationships that I had with my mom really did shape the relationships that I felt comfortable with, but also things that I were craving for, as I was growing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really, really interesting, because I'm getting like 2 different dynamic
Yeah.
answers, but somehow they all resonate
Yes.
to a certain extent. And, what sacrifice do you feel she made that, she had to make as you were growing up, that you feel only now you sort of understood?
So I think I just want to echo on what Izzy was saying just now. And I think it's sacrificing her time for her to be her, to explore, who she is and the person she wants to be, to really have to look after these 2 kids now on her own, to really have to make sure these 2 knuckleheads, grow up, get a good job and like be successful. So I think I remember the time when I did have a stable job and I did tell her that I was going to quit my job to be a magician, to be a radio DJ, to be a coach. I just remember the disappointment and sadness in her face. I was driving down that Jalan Brakas, and I remember at the traffic light, and I leaned over to her and I told her, like, hey, I don't think I'm going to be working with the company anymore. And she's like, why? What are you going to do? And I'm like, well, I want to be a magician, you know, and I want to be a coach. I want to be a radio DJ. I want to do hosting gigs, you know. And she's like, why? Like, you know what? So I understand the disappointment because at the end of the day, our parents just want the best for us. And obviously at the time, it's such a out of the norm thing for her son who already has a stable job to want to dabble in freelancing, to want to be a magician, like you know.
Oh,
so
God.
I understand the disappointment, and I think I always tie it back to, or the common denominator is always, I just want my son to be successful, have a good life, and to be able to provide for him and the people around him.
Yeah.
And I think for her, it's more like it's just an add-on of worry, I think. It's like, okay, everything's okay now. I can just feel like the weight is off my shoulder. And then suddenly, Mom, I want to be a magician. She's like, oh, I'm going to go on another roller coaster
We
ride
don't
one
know
more time,
any
you know?
magicians in Brunei who have made it. You know?
Wow, what are you going to be the next one? Natsri Blaine? You know? Yeah.
Oh, yes,
But still, like,
exactly.
she stayed by
And
you.
she stayed
and like,
supportive.
So
Yeah.
I told her that I said, hey, I've got enough savings. I've got some, you know, gigs and stuff lined up. I'm gonna give myself 6 months. So I made that promise to her. I'm gonna give myself 6 months. If I can support myself and us, I said, past the 6 months, then I'm just gonna keep doing it. And if I can't, I still have my degree to fall back on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still have my work experience to
Yes.
fall back on, and I'll jump back into corporate. And that was in 2013, and I've never looked back since.
And look
Oh
at you
my
now.
God,
Yeah.
amazing.
Look at me now. Broke still, but Sorry,
yeah.
coping mechanism.
Yes,
Coping mechanism, yeah.
How about you, Izzy?
I think she had to sacrifice a lot of things, not just for me or because of me, but because of like she married so young. I feel like at the height of her career, and then you know
How old was she, if you don't mind me asking?
I can't remember, but 20s, I think. Yeah, 20s. And then the whole thing with my dad happened, and then she remarried, and then that marriage didn't work out. And I had my two sisters. I realized that we had to grow up together, me and her, which is why I didn't feel like. I mean, she was definitely doing like father-mother duties, but in terms of like emotional dependence, our conversations, it was more friendly. Yeah, and she did her best to her what she could do at the time. Not just that, but also had to handle what she has to go through emotionally. I don't know if she's healed now after all that's happened. I think that's what she had to sacrifice, like time to heal
And to be themselves,
and
right?
to be themselves, which is why like now she's retired, she's just like on the couch watching TV, going out to lunches with her sister and her friends. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes,
My
yeah.
mom's doing the same thing.
Right? It's like
She's like, I'm watching a Korean drama now.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I'm so happy
Yeah.
that they have that now. But
Yes.
it's like I do feel like, man, if I could like turn back time, like if I could give her the opportunity to like just live again, like without experiencing heartbreak. I've always been curious how she was when she was like little, because
Yeah.
me and my mom, we don't say I love you. We're not that type.
Okay.
We don't have that type of relationship. So you can see like it's very like
Tough love.
very tough between the two of us. Like we don't have heart to heart. So different from your relationship with your mom, but obviously the love is there, and I would obviously take a bullet
Yeah,
for her
for sure.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Wow.
without hesitation. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's so nice because I feel like there's so many heartfelt messages that you've shared today, and I think I want to share a few comments that is from our audiences
Oh, there are comments?
as well.
Is this
And,
a jerk to his mom?
you know, like just to share a few comments here that that we have some friends over on TikTok. There's one audience that with the username ending in 395 saying such great sharing, so glad to stumble across the podcast. So I think having to share a lot of the messages that you guys have today really did touch a lot of our audience as well. I think one audience also just nice 23, hi just nice 23 says Sorry, I'm trying to have a look at the comment, but it keeps popping out of the live. Just a second. Just Nice 23 that says the sofa chairs look so comfortable. It's like sitting on clouds. So I think Nazri and Izzy, you both are, making yourself comfortable. That's good to know. And also, Just Nice 23 also commented that it is also their first time living as a mother.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Exactly. So I think, every time I butt heads with my kid, every time I always have to remind myself, and it's with my mom as well, right? Like, I have to remind myself to give my son a bit of grace because that's his first time being a 5-year-old doing this thing. But it's also my first time being a dad to a 5-year-old who's doing this thing.
Yes.
So it's the
Right.
same with my mom. Like, my mom is, being a mom to this dude and also a grandma to this dude.
Yeah.
And it's my first time being this son to, so I always have to remind myself, like,
Right.
it is a first time for everyone. And I think that's how we can give all of ourselves a little bit of grace every time we
Yeah.
feel like I'm not doing a great job.
Yeah.
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 And especially like when I see certain things that my son would have done back at me at his age, straight away, right at the back of my head, I'm like, damn, my mom had a really hard time. Just saying, like,
really,
like just
yeah.
to look back and like, wow, I didn't give her a good,
Yeah.
a good time
Yeah.
either. Like
Now I understand why she was so
Right.
mara all the time.
yeah, and now I know why she's always so angry. But I guess it's really just us, like me and my brothers as well. And like
No, I think I've met your brothers. I think it's just you.
Oh my God.
not in front of the live audience. Oh my gosh, yeah. I think it could be just me.
I'm joking. I'm joking, guys. Don't forget, my name's Iskandar. He does it. Oh gosh.
But just to lighten up the mood a bit, now that
Okay.
we're laughing and talking about this, was there any like experiences that you had with your mom that was that's funny for you to share, or maybe something that you look back now, or your mom looked back and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe we did that. Maybe you can share some fun experiences that you had.
I don't know. There's so many that there's nothing at the top of my head at the moment. Do you have something?
Nothing exactly, but my interactions with my mom would just be so funny. Like, okay, so I I hate getting like really upset at her because when I get upset, I don't know how to explain it to her in Malay.
What do you mean? Does she speak Malay
She
primarily?
speaks Malay and she can definitely understand English. But like for me to like elaborate, when it comes to complex emotions that I'm feeling, like why she does things that annoyed me or pissed me off, macam I struggle and imagine me being angry, like red faced, and she would just laugh at me. and I would laugh too because I'm like, wait, I'm angry. Why are you laughing at me? I'm
Oh
trying
my
to
gosh,
I'm
sorry,
trying to like tell you I'm angry, but I end up laughing.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to just share this. Like, Mom, if you're listening to this, I'm still upset at what you did. But there was a moment. I think I just started working. We just started, CUCKOO, and I was working. And I remember it was a really long day. I had a really long day. I came home and I sort of started breaking down. I broke down and I started crying. I was just next to my mom, and you know what's the first thing she did? She took out her phone and she started videoing me.
Oh.
And then I looked at her and I was like, excuse me. She was like, I'm sending it to your brother. I'm trying to tell him you're having a hard time. But I was like, not now. Like,
Auntie, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
sorry, now that you mention, how I guess they just don't know. But now that we look
Yeah.
back at it, it's just something
so
funny.
Funny. And
Right?
I think
Oh
the
my
most
gosh.
recent one was like, I can't remember what it was, but I came home and I was
Yeah.
just so tired. And I went to the kitchen and she was like, Bang. I was like, Apa?
Yeah.
You know what? Say it. What?
Yeah.
And then she would just laugh, and I was like, I can't help but laugh too. I was like, this is so annoying. What do you want?
It's
No,
tough,
that's
man.
so
I think
cute,
with
yeah.
my mom, I guess it's just all the weird things that she would just enable me to do. Like, not a lot of families. Like, I think I was in like a government high school. I was
Yeah.
in Sekolah Menengah Sultan Syarif Ali.
Yeah.
I was, and it was very heavy, like Malay, like school.
Yeah.
But my mom, I think, allowed me to sort of get my piercings.
Yeah.
When everyone was playing football, she allowed me to try skateboarding or
wow.
breakdancing.
Yeah.
She would go to the Kadai Runcit with me to buy, the lapik with the black and white squares that breakdancers always
Oh my god.
She would go with me to the convenience store. We'd
Yeah.
buy maybe like 2 meters. She'd put it on the floor in the back of our house.
Yeah.
And she would just see her son being an idiot trying to spin on his head.
Yeah.
So, so I think these are the sort of stories that I remember when it comes to my mom, that she was actually strict, but also she allowed me to explore and express.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think within reason. I
Yeah.
think as long,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, as long as you're a good person, you're not
Yes.
harming anyone,
Yeah.
I know what you're up to.
Yeah.
I think she was, giving me space.
Yeah.
And I think that's like something that when I look back now, like, I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think to some extent she might not express how she loves, but she's at least trying to express it in a different love language through this
Correct.
way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
I
just,
agree.
Yeah, and I'm just curious as well. Was there any particular, because for moms, for your moms, they had to be tough. I think on Izzy, it's more on tough love, and then
Yeah.
for Natsuri as well, I think your mom had a bit of a balance between both, playing strict and as
Yeah.
well trying to be open to letting you try different things. Was there any particular type of love acts of love that they would probably silently show, like that is their way to say, I'm sorry, I love you, I'm sorry we argued this way? Or was there any certain type of actions that that they would do as an act of love from
I think my mom wasn't the type to express emotions well. I think or vocalize emotions well. So I think like when it comes to sort of like arguments and stuff, it wouldn't be something that we'd be able to sort of sit down and like sort of talk about these things. It would
Yeah.
be sort of swept under the rug. It would be, So I think when you say acts of love, I think again, it's just giving me the freedom that,
Yeah.
and I think showing me she loves me without having to say the words.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I
Yep,
think that's
I agree.
something
Yeah.
that when you understand that,
Yeah.
then I don't think anyone can say I love you and mean it or not mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone
That's
can do something
true.
and it might mean they love you or it might not.
Yeah.
So I think just showing that she loves me without having to say it because it's genuine, because they could have done something else, but they did that for you. And I think that's something, those are the ways my mom expresses love.
Yeah.
She gives me time,
Nice,
she gives me
yeah.
space. And yeah.
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 I think the same. Like with me, like she would just like do stuff for me when she didn't really have to, and sometimes I would get caught off guard. Like, cause one time I was just looking for some like my stuff that went missing in the house, and I was like, oh, never mind, cause I was late to do something, so I left. And then when I come back, it was like there on the table. I was like, di mana budak pa ni? Ada tu di sana. And I was like, oh, so you actually looked for it
Yeah.
for me. So I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And now that you mention it, like sometimes, so I don't stay at my mom's place.
Yeah.
So sometimes, and they do it with that. I already cleaned your room for you. I already changed the sheets.
Oh,
I did the
yeah.
laundry already.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mama, you don't have to. I could have done it. She's like, I already did it, for, if you want to just crash here for a while or whatever. So like, I think these are the
Yeah.
things that they do.
Yeah. It's acts of love.
Service.
Like acts of
Yeah,
service. Yeah, acts of love.
And I think because we're all about the same age group, so I don't know if it's
Yeah.
No, I'm
similarity.
definitely older than you guys.
You don't have to reveal your age, But anyways, yeah, I think it's really sometimes it's hard for them to express.
For sure.
Yeah.
And sometimes for certain parents as well, they feel like because I am older, I don't want to be the one to say I love you first, so I'll do it in a different way. But somehow we sort of know.
Again, I
We
think
sort
it
of
just
know.
comes down to they're doing what they can with the tools they have.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
when we understand that, I think a bit of grace can be given,
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
more understanding can be given. And I think that sort of helps the relationship, whether it's
Yeah.
with mom or with whoever. And
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I sort of know your mom somehow from today's podcast.
Oh my
and
God,
it's
you
so
will.
sweet.
My mom
they're a
is.
riot.
Oh God. My goodness.
I
Yeah.
think that should be our podcast.
Yeah.
You know,
Insane.
And just out of curiosity, I think we have enough time for one more question.
Okay.
Since you've shared a lot of stories about your mom and we're here live on TikTok, if your mom was watching, what message would you guys want to give to your mom? Yeah. Does anyone want to go
Oh my God,
first?
are you? Stop.
Hey,
Stop.
Hey now.
I mean, my shoulder is.
Yeah, I get it. I get
Yeah,
it.
but I'll
You go first.
It's okay. I've got the tissues ready. But yeah.
Don't.
What? I think
Yeah.
I'll be okay. I
Yeah.
think I'll be okay.
Yeah. Maybe anyone wants to go first? Like, yeah, any message you want to
Oh my
share to
God.
mom?
There?
Yeah.
Where would I start? I feel safe saying this because I don't know if she'll like, because I'm gonna say it in English.
You can say it in
if,
Malay,
in Malay,
though.
like I wouldn't even know how to say it in
Yeah.
Malay. But I would just like to obviously say, okay.
Yeah. This podcast is it, please.
This one, okay, yeah.
What a rookie.
Dorang ni tadi aku ni hilang tiang mood. Yeah, but yeah, I would just like to say, I think firstly, like sorry, obviously for all the things that I've done in the past. I really like. I feel like I just grew up so late to finally realize how what you did for me back then, especially with like going through all the things that you went through, and I just hope that you're proud of me.
Yeah.
And that I hope that you are able to heal from what you went through, and that you are an amazing mother to me and my sisters and our younger stepbrother, and an amazing grandmother to our niece and nephews. Nazri's just like staring at me from the side. It's really hard to. Yeah. But yeah, I never fully got to say all these things to you. But I hope one day we can sit down and like really talk to each other like, mother and son, not like a friend to friend.
Yeah.
And maybe not end up arguing. Yeah, hopefully. But I am positive that they will come because, we're both growing, we're both like getting to know each other. And yeah, happy Mother's Day. It's still Mother's Day,
Come
right?
here, buddy. I'm so proud of you. Well done.
That's so sweet. Oh, that's
Oh,
such
man.
a sweet message, Izzy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can feel it as well. It's really heartfelt. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Natsri?
Oh gosh, Mom. I just want to say that I love you.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna cry for it.
I've got tissues. I've got tissues, don't worry.
I may not have been the easiest son to grow up with, but I genuinely appreciate all the things that you've done for Tash and I. I appreciate you for the person you are with me, the people around you, with my son. I love the grace that you carry yourself with, and I can only pray that I could be a fraction of the person that you are.
Oh,
Oh my God, stop! I'm gonna cry. No, continue.
I've got tissues, don't worry. I've got tissues.
This is so bad.
It's okay.
Sini saja. Ambil saja.
Anyways.
Take it away. Take it away.
Oh my gosh. Hannah's gonna be like, what a crybaby.
Oh, I think that's really sweet. Yeah. Wow.
Anyways, love you, whatever, Mom. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just wish I could spoil you and appreciate you how you should be treated.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Thank you so much, Nazri, for sharing that. And I think we
This is so annoying. I hate this podcast so much.
Are we done yet?
I just want to eat.
Oh my gosh, it really is a heartfelt message. I think
my God.
even our crew backstage are sort of having teary eyes from that lovely message. And honestly, we can really feel it, like how much love your
God.
mom has probably given to you as well. And I think our audience would probably feel it too through the screen. But thank you so much for sharing that lovely message. And I really hope that we could play this back and let aunties hear it, because I think they sure deserve to hear that message coming from you guys. Yeah. But anyways, thank you so much for sharing such a lovely message. I think
Thank you,
to all of
Hui
our audience, thank you so much for tuning in and just really to take time to listen to that lovely message. I
felt
think
like that was a bit of therapy going
yeah,
on.
I know.
indirectly.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think today with both of you sharing your your heartfelt experiences.
Yeah.
What relationship was growing up with mom and having, mom to play mom and dad role really shows us the strong message of home really truly starts with her. And I think, just to build a roof and also to shelter us with the emotions as well, to protect us. And, to all of our moms out there, we really want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day. And as well to all of our single moms. And I think I love how today's message is coming from Nazri and Izzy, because it goes to show that, you really cannot not have mom there. I think mom is really there for you guys and, for us tonight as well. So we have a little special gift for the both of
The
you.
Rolex
that
that we
you've been waiting for.
I can't wait, Izzy.
Izzy, this one's for you. And we have actually, for both Nazri and Izzy, we have a lovely portrait that was Should I show it to the audience? Yeah, I'll show it to the audience.
Izzy, look at that little boy.
This is an art made by one of the students from
Oh my God,
Smarter.
my mom is, no!
Oh my
I think it's such a
gosh.
lovely
That's
photo and it's a
crazy.
lovely
That's
art. So I'll pass this over to
beautiful.
you along with our gift.
Oh, thank you.
Hold on to the art.
You're so
And I
cute,
think-
huh?
Yeah.
What happened?
And
Ini
actually,
aku coping ni.
I
Aku
know,
coping,
I
aku
know.
we
coping.
have another one for Natsuri, and that
Wait,
was by
I
one of
wanna
our
see-
students.
Stop! Wait,
That is
were we
so
around the same
nice.
age?
Oh my
We
gosh!
were.
Such a
look
nice
at
one.
us.
Yeah,
so cute.
that's such a nice art. So have a look. Yeah, this is for you guys.
Thank you so much. Look at that. Look, I kind of look like my son here.
Yeah, maybe you can show the camera. Wow, you do.
Right?
Amar does look like you.
Gosh.
Wow.
Actually,
Right? Can you see
I thought it was a picture of my son and my mom just now. And I was
Your
like,
mom looks the same.
Fahmi is the student?
Yes.
Oh, man,
that's
this is
fun.
so much
amazing
for me. This
job.
is crazy.
I think it's
Walaupun walaupun they got your nose wrong.
Sorry, kan nangis
Kenapa
ko,
yang
kan
marah?
nangis ko lagi. Thank you, Fahmi. Thank you,
Wow,
Cuckoo, as
yeah.
well. Oh, what a
Thank
nice
you, guys.
touch.
This is amazing.
and we also have a little gift for your mom.
oh my God, yes.
The Rolex.
Not the Rolexes, but maybe next time. But this is our rice cooker, so I think
my
that's something that maybe you can
I don't know
share
if we're
with your
supposed to
mom.
stand.
Oh, wow, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
One.
There you go.
One for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. So since these are for, your moms, no Rolexes, just our rice cooker.
Yeah.
Actually, wouldn't it be great if you can give it to your moms now?
Shut your mouth.
No
So
way.
I think we
You
have.
shut your mouth.
How?
So we have a little surprise.
This is crazy.
This is Natsri's mom. So hello, auntie. Hello, auntie.
Hello,
Thank you
hello.
so much for coming.
Oh my God, she's crying. Stop. I'm gonna cry. Auntie, you have an amazing son and you're amazing.
Yes,
You're
you are.
honestly amazing.
Happy Mother's Day.
Wait.
They made me try twice tonight.
And this is coming from auntie, so I think it just makes sense for you to open it up.
Babu selalu doakan dalam setiap solat Babu, semoga Iskandar sentiasa selamat dunia akhirat, menjadi anak yang berbakti kepada kedua orang tua, menjadi anak yang soleh, bekerja dengan jujur dan ikhlas kerana Allah, semoga mendapat rezeki yang berkat di dunia dan akhirat. Oh my God, I mean, thank you, Mom.
And I think before we wrap up tonight, I just want to say a huge thank
You
you.
guys are so mean to me.
Just want to say a huge thank you to Nazri and Izzy for coming here and for sharing a lovely story with us with your mom.
Nazri's wrecked.
I'm a wreck,
She is
dude.
wrecked
I'm a
today.
freaking wreck.
And thank you to all of our audience for tuning in today. I think we do want to wish all moms a happy Mother's Day.
You as well. Happy Mother's Day
Happy
to
Mother's
you.
Day, Hui Ting.
Yes.
And also, we would like to say thank you to Heart Living for again lending us
Thank
the
you, guys.
space. I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. That's me signing off, and also Nazri and Izzy. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
I'm so dehydrated at the moment. Gosh. You guys are the worst. Thank you.